Here we go again, the What It Takes Radio Company, helping you reach your audience. Goes back to one of our favorite programs. It's mine, the Interesting Ideas Podcast. And today, a week from today, the turbulence begins, and so may I take a few minutes to think about that turbulence, and how we can be powerful people if we practice, perhaps, the expulsion of the crowd. What does that mean? Greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stan the radio man, perhaps Stan the coach man with the coaching experience, and What It Takes Radio. And also the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience and a variety of other new projects, which I have been given the opportunity, you might say the responsibility, of bringing into the world at this somewhat later stage of my life in business. And I'm thanking you for perhaps being a part of that, because I think it could be helpful and profitable to you too, to learn some of the stars and scars that I have accumulated and how they might be helpful to you in how to make it, survive it, thrive it, maybe even be transformed by all of the challenges and changes that are going to happen in our world today. In about 172 hours, the turbulence will really begin. You see, this is Tuesday, and it's exactly 1 week from the election in the United States, primarily for the presidency. Then, of course, many senators and governors and all of the members of the House of Representatives. And in many local places and spaces, it's time for a massive change, perhaps, in the way we are governed, in the policies that will profoundly affect our lives. And of course, because of all of the differences of opinion and all of the noise and all of the challenges, about 4 or 5 hours from when I'm putting this together on a Tuesday afternoon, a week from now, as the afternoon begins to fade and the evening begins and the vote counting begins, the turbulence will begin. And who knows what it will bring. Obviously, there are many hopes and plans and predictions, but the situation is such that forecasting is probably not a very good idea. It's simply one that we do our part, either by voting our preference or our prejudice or our particular peculiarities. And then we wait and see, and we trust that those who handle the process will handle it well for us. Obviously, this is not real. This is a beautiful little office, isn't it? Well, of course, it's not mine. You know that. It's AI. It's fake. Now, I do have an iMac. I do have an iMac. And I also have another laptop. And then I have about 3 or 4 other of those digital devices, which make my life a little more complicated, but they also make it a lot easier. Thanks to them, here I am sitting in my humble little studio in North Carolina, and I have the opportunity to reach the entire world. Now, many, many years ago, when I had the opportunity to actually be behind the microphone of a large, world-class, huge, powerful radio station that put out, millions of watts of energy and very expensively transmitted my voice and my programming to many parts of the world. That was a costly adventure, and I always took it very responsibly, because I knew that when I was on the radio, when I was putting together my thoughts and programs, is that a lot of people had paid a lot of money to make sure that that was possible for me to do that. Well, now I can reach far more people, and people all over the world, if they have a computer, if they have a tablet, if they have a smartphone. And of course, probably the majority of people in the world have that. That's what has changed. And it's going to continue to change at a very rapid rate. And so what are we going to do about that? And so I am making plans, maybe you are too, in terms of some of the things that might happen. There will be a significant change or maybe even a transformation in the way our life and business in terms of governance may change depending on who the people elect and select to be their leaders for the next few years. And that may have an effect on us all. But either way, we have to make sure that we are ready, both emotionally, that's right, to be a grown-up, physically in terms of the health that we have, and we want to be the best we can be, psychologically in terms of our mind, spiritually for sure, that we are ready to deal with what comes our way and be able, in spite of all that, to have some faith and confidence that will help us deal with the day, every day, in whatever comes into our world. To actually have that kind of a peace of mind would be something we should all ask for, think about, pursue, maybe pray about. Yeah. Keep my mind at peace. Peace, please. More peace, please. I want to, eventually I will rest in peace. But until that time, help me to live with peace and perhaps give and share peace with others. Many, many, many years ago, there was a broadcaster back in the 50s, one of the best. And he was one of the characters who I think started, which is still going, the Today Show on NBC. Or at least it was as I remember it. And he used to close his program every morning just by simply saying, peace. I remember that. Maybe some of you do too. We are old if you do. But Dave Garroway was an incredible of the radio and television pioneers. Peace. Peace be with you. And of course, many of us who are involved in some religious traditions know that the passing of the peace, the accepting of the peace from others is something that is a part of what I think is a good part of our world. Well, what I wanted to do today is very simply, here I am. And you know what? I have the wrong glasses on. You know what? Those glasses help me see far away, but now I have some funky old glasses that will help me see closer. I can change them. Now, these are kind of weird, but that's okay. I'm a little bit weird. But they will help me to read this book, which is going to be 100 years old in 2025. It was written first in 1925, okay? And this is actually for the today, October 28th, it says. You see, it's a series of things that we have every day, okay? And here it says, a quiet spirit, okay? A quiet spirit is of inestimable value in carrying on outward activities. And nothing so hinders the working of the hidden spiritual forces upon which, after all, our success in everything really depends, is a spirit of unrest and anxiety. Does that describe any of us? Let me say that again. Nothing so hinders the working of the hidden spiritual forces upon which, after all, our success in everything really depends, as a spirit of unrest and anxiety. There is immense power in stillness. A great saint once said, "All things come to him who knows how to trust and be silent." These words have a lot of meaning. A knowledge of this fact would immensely change our ways of working. Instead of restless struggles, we would sit down inwardly before God, and we would let the divine forces of His Spirit work out in silence to all of the ends which we aspire. The wise writer goes on to say, "You may not see or feel the operations of this silent force, but be assured it is always working mightily, and it will work for you. If you only get your spirit still enough to be carried along by the currents of its power. It is your business in life to learn how to be still in every situation." The rest of the stories that come out of that devotional say, learn to practice the gift of solitude that we really need, particularly in the world that we live in today, to just get away. Just find a way to be quiet where there is no noise. You know, I'm up at by 6 o'clock every morning. I'm walking my prayer walk, walking around the little lake. It's about 1.5 miles, and the birds and the ducks are there, and I'm walking quietly around. But it's very obvious that very soon as I arrive for my walk, the noise of the traffic about 2 miles away starts to begin. And it grows in intensity and energy. And oftentimes, even at that time, I hear a siren somewhere. To actually find the way to get away from it all and to experience some solitude, some silence, some stillness, may be one of the lost arts of living. You know, yeah, one of the lost arts of living. You know. So take off your reading close glasses and maybe just be quiet. Maybe don't even read. Just be quiet. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe open them wide. Maybe put on your glasses so you can see clearer things that are even further away. You can watch things, watch nature, watch the light, watch the day come. Someone had a sticker that they put on and they gave it to me, and I still remember it. I wish I could find it, but I bet I remember it. It said, "Practice the expulsion of the crowd." Learn how to get away. Practice the expulsion of the crowd. Well, you know, there's going to be turbulence, and it's going to be turbulent times. We're in the season of November, and that's a Thanksgiving season, and good. Spend some time just being shut up and be quiet and be thankful. And instead of the flurry and fury of the gift-giving season, maybe decide that, you know, this holiday, we're not going to give anything that we haven't made ourselves. You know, that is particularly where when we lived in Holland and some of the more smaller areas in between Western consumerism. On St. Nicholas Day, you gave a small gift, but the point was that it wasn't to be a gift that you had bought. In many ways, it was a gift that you had made for them. That's maybe not a bad idea. Make it simpler, make it easier, make it more precious. As someone has said, the best kind of gift is the gift that someone gives you that is unlike any other gift around that you could have, that it is especially for you from them. And perhaps in doing so, it costs them something in terms of time, energy, and love and care to give it. And it could be very simple. A simple gift. That old Shaker song. It's a gift to be simple. It's a gift to be free. It's a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we come down in the place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight. We will be entering the Thanksgiving holiday season right after the election. There will be lots of turbulence and bad stuff, but see if we can be at peace, enjoying some silence and solitude, and perhaps for one of the first times in our lives, as we are saying, I think I'm finally discovering more and more some of the truths about how to live well, and perhaps even to be better at life. And you know what? Since I have to make a living, better at my business. And we're going to do some of that this season. We're going to help you be quiet, maybe a little more peaceful. But we've got some ideas that maybe 25 could be the year in which you are better at the business and at the calling that you have. We will see. Peace be with thee. Till next time, I'm Stan Houston for interesting ideas, for the transformation zone, for the coaching experience. And of course, we will be introducing the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience this year. Take care. Bye. Bye for now. But we will be back.